Hey YouTube, it's SoulPrime13 with another video review. Today we're going to be looking at the Transformers Star Wars crossover Mandalorian N1 Starfighter. So we'll take a quick look at the box. Here we got a picture of the robot mode there. Got basic Transformers logo, Star Wars The Mandalorian. We got some techie stuff here on the side, on the top, and on the other side. On the bottom we got all our legal jargon, and then on the back we have our product shots. Overall, not too impressed with the box. It feels a little, I don't know, something about it just doesn't strike me as interesting. But it's just a box, so it's no big deal. And we do get our lovely instruction booklets, which is also upside down. But there is that. And here we have him in all his glory. And you can see he comes with several blast effects. We'll just take him off of this stand here. So he comes with a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We get 2 big ones for the engines, and 2 of these matching medium ones, 1 small and 1 large. And I just sort of put this on the back because it was the best place to put it. He does also come with this little pistol. I kind of wish that it could like sit back here or somewhere in the middle. It unfortunately does not fit in this because it is a square peg and a circular post, so it doesn't work, unfortunately. And the only place to really put it in vehicle mode is on the side of the engines, which I don't really like because it feels very asymmetrical. And I know that, you know, that might not bug some people, but it does bug me. But we also get these 2 blast compatible cannons there in the front. And we could just take these off. These slide over the sort of, I don't know what part that would be called, but on the back of the engines. They just snug on over that. So there is our vehicle mode. We do have the cockpit and then this bit, which I assume would normally be for the droid. It would be kind of cool if it came with a little Baby Yoda figurine to put in here, like the original Star Wars things had their little pilots. But it doesn't, so nothing really going on there. Let's see, we should probably do a quick size comparison first. I'll move this stand off to the side, and we'll bring in the other Mandalorian Transformer, the Slave One Boba Fett. I'll give you an idea of how they pair up next to each other. So there is that. Now, I do have a couple issues with the vehicle mode. The main one being that and not necessarily because it's parts forming, but this isn't the most solid connection. It's not super loose, but it can pop off kind of easily. So it does worry me about over time how it'll hold up. It at least holds up to a shake test, so it's not, you know, the worst thing in the world, but it is a small concern I have. I do have an issue with the parts that it parts forms into in the robot mode, but that's for a different reason. But overall, the vehicle mode does feel pretty solid. This part here doesn't like to sit flush for some reason, but overall nothing too horrible. And yeah, as you can see, there is the you know, you can just plug the stand in on the bottom and just have it on display, which is cool. So there is that. I think that's about it for any major complaints. It does have some nice paintwork. We do get some gold here underneath the engines. I'm not sure if those are blasters or whatnot. I haven't seen that far into the show. I think I only saw the first 2 seasons because my mom was the one who had Disney Plus, but she passed away and I don't like Disney, so do have a molded engine back here, which is nice. But yeah, overall, decent vehicle mode here, very Star Wars-y. So I think we can go ahead and move on to transformation. Let's scoot these accessories to the side and pop this off, put it to the side. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these panels here in the middle section of the engine and pop them up. And pop it up. Then we can rotate these, and then we're going to come over here and pop this whole assembly up. And we're going to split this bottom part down the middle. Then we need to come in here to this whole brown section right here, lift it up and just sort of untab it here at this hinge, and it'll come up like so. So we want it out like this, and that'll give you the room to fold the leg out. Then you can bring this whole assembly down. It'll click into place, or soft swoop. You rotate this piece around and fold it up to form the foot, and then you're going to bring it back around and re-tab it in like so. Then you're just going to rinse and repeat. Bring that whole bit up, fold it out, bring this whole assembly down, bring this down, gonna rotate, fold this up, and tab it back in. And there we have our legs. You want to make sure that the belt is facing forward. Then we can come up here, and we do get some interesting transformation here. Fold these parts up, and then we want to come here and open the sort of hood down the middle. And then we can flip the head out, and we're going to rotate these around and behind. I'm going to bring this whole assembly up, and then we're going to fold these 2 pieces in until they click into place. Fold them in, and then this will rotate around on this little pivot right here on this brown piece. And fold that in. Then, let's see, I know there's more to this. I'm trying to remember. Right, gotta fold this piece out. Hold on, I might have to rotate this back around to get a good. Yeah, wanna flip this piece out. Then rotate all this around, and this is going to tab in right under his chin, or rather into his neck, I guess, like so. Oh, I'm doing this too early. Okay, we want to bring these armature pieces up like so, and you want to make sure to get them all the way up, because there's a little slot here that's going to go over this sort of piece here, I believe. Yeah, it'll slide on like that. Now we can close all this up. I was wondering why his chest seemed so open and barren. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There we go, like so. Rotate the waist 180. Then these back pieces will come back together like so. And these back pieces you can just kind of position however you want. They don't really get too much in the way if you fold them all the way back. Anyway, come in here, we just open up this panel, and then we can flip out his fists, close that back up, bring this back, and flip out the fist. If it'll cooperate, there we go. Close that back up. And there we have him in his robot mode. And it's a decent looking robot mode. It definitely captures the character decently. There are plenty of things to do with his accessories. But first we will start with the... actually, before we do that, we'll do another size comparison. Here he is with Jango Fett. To give you an idea, they stack pretty similarly in robot mode. So that's kind of neat. So there's that. And just for a more common comparison, here is the Sideswipe mold. So he's probably the size of a large Voyager. Yeah, I'd say large Voyager. Anyway, back to the accessories. So my issue is with this piece specifically. It doesn't really do much. Now, that's not to say it does nothing, but it does not really integrate into the robot mode. Now, to be fair, I know what they're doing with this, so I don't want to bitch too much. Sorry, complain too much. Keeping this place channel kid friendly. So if you come over to the stand, you can open up this piece here and separate it. This comes off and you can see that there's a little support beam. What you can do is these little pegs here and here will go into these slots on either of these engine blast effects, like so, and then you can plug that here into the bottom, and it's supposed to be like the little baby carriage that the Baby Yoda flies around in. Now, there are two reasons I have an issue with this, one of which I said is like this is pretty much all it does in the robot mode. Second of all, you can't use the shield base if you're doing this. Given, you know, that might not be a huge deal for everybody. I don't know if he has a shield in the show. I definitely don't remember seeing one. But it kind of takes up the accessory stand. Or display stand, I should say. But it is what it is. Now, as for this piece, you can come back here. And if you remember that square post on the top of the engine right here, or the hood, I guess, it'll plug in this right here, and that'll give him his signature cape, which does look nice. So there is a little bit more to his look. The small gun here does fit in his hand, and as you saw earlier, it is blast effect compatible, so you can have him doing a little shootout, quick draw, cowboy kind of stuff. But now, this is probably one of my favorite little extras in this, is he actually has a holster on his leg that fits the pistol. And I think that's just really cool. So you can have that. Then, with this piece, as you probably have seen on the box in any promotional images, I just cracked my nail again, dang it. You can fold out this handle and then bring this up like so, and there you have his big rifle that doesn't look anything like it did in the show, but it gives him a big gun too, because he did have a big gun and a little gun. So you can give him that, and you know, it does have a blast effect compatible barrel, and you can put one up here on top of the tail piece too as well. So you can get some double blasty daka action. Pew pew pew. That's always neat. But yeah, you can theoretically, like, if you want to, come back here and put these back on these guns. And I do wish that this held together a little more solidly, but it's not a huge deal since it's, you know, his back. Give him sort of a jetpack look, and you know, we can have him shooting from these barrels, and that's most of the blast effects taken care of, though this one will just sit around unless you want to put it on his shoulder. Looks a little awkward there, but hey, you can do it if you want to. So yeah, other than the fact that he can't completely store everything in robot mode, and that, you know, this just kind of sits there, I do wish it implemented a little better, but it's far from the worst thing they could have done with it. They at least did something with it. And I should go ahead and show off that shield bit I was talking about. Can just peg it in the bottom onto his arm post holes, so you can have that going on. So he has his blaster and a shield and a fancy cape and all that good stuff. So they definitely added plenty accessory wise. There shouldn't be any complaints about the number of accessories here. So, and overall, aside from just he does not hold together as well as I would like. That's probably my biggest complaint. Just wish things tabbed a little more solidly, and his waist is a little bit loose on mine, so yeah. But overall, he's a neat figure, and you know, I'm not too big of a fan of what Disney's been doing with Star Wars these days, but I do have a little bit of a soft spot for it. I always liked Lego Star Wars stuff growing up. I've played like all the Lego Star Wars games, so I do have a little bit of a soft spot for Star Wars stuff in general. Not anywhere near as much as, you know, Transformers, but it is what it is. So I definitely I'm glad to see that they're at least, you know, touching back on Star Wars with their crossover line, and I certainly wouldn't mind seeing more of that. I still want to go back and get some of those older figures, because the only ones I have are the two Jango and Boba Fett, and then the Clone Trooper tank, the big one with like 8 wheels. I forget what it's called. But yeah, I want to get like the Darth Vader Death Star at some point if I can, and other things like that. Because a lot of those toys, while they certainly are dated now, were really cool. So, yeah, overall, I do enjoy this figure. My big complaints are, despite the interesting engineering, he doesn't tab together as well as I would like, and while he does have a lot of accessories, he has a lot of accessories. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. There's lots to do with them, but they also, you know, don't all necessarily have a place to go in robot mode. You can, as you saw, I was able to find a place for them in the vehicle mode, although I don't think it looks super elegant the way it is, but they at least have a place. So I think, given the flaws that he has, I'd probably give him a 7.5. I think that you know, it might just be quality control on my end, but I do think they could have made him a little bit more snug with those tab connections. But, you know, credit where credit is due. This one does seem to have a decent amount of paint. It does have a interesting transformation, and they did not go easy on the accessories, you know, and I absolutely love that he actually has a holster for his pistol. I definitely think that, like, they easily could have left that out, or even left the pistol out entirely. But not only did they give him a pistol, they gave him a holster for it too, and that I find very cool. I'm definitely going to give credit where credit is due on that. I'm super thrilled by that. But yeah, not a bad figure. I do think that there are a couple things they could have done better, but overall, if you are into, you know, the Mandalorian show, which, you know, I know at least the first 2 seasons were good, or, you know, if you're still into Star Wars in general, I don't think this is a bad figure to pick up. I think that you will probably enjoy it. I enjoy it at least a fair bit, and I'm only a bit of a casual Star Wars fan, so. But that's enough rambling for me. I hope you all enjoyed, and this is Soul Prime 13 saying transform and soul out.